Hey guys, Brian from WorkshopAddict.com, and today we're going to solve a problem on the new Ford F-150s, but we're not going to use a lot of tools, and we're not even going to need a lift. So you'll normally see us talking about different tools or wrenching on cars behind us. This is going to be something that anyone can do at home, and we're going to tell you why you should do this in one of two ways. There are a lot of ways to solve the problem of the auto start stop on these new Fords, but there are some that are a little bit more safe, and I'm going to recommend two of them to you. Now, people may disagree, so if you do disagree, please leave your comments below. Leave them in a way that other people who read the comments can understand what you're talking about and get your point across well. Don't just attack. So first, there's multiple ways to go at stopping this auto stop and auto start system from working. If you're annoyed with it, you know exactly what it is. And the first one that I'm going to recommend you don't do is the FORScan. It's basically a scan module. You can buy the OBDII port reader off Amazon, and you buy or just use the FORScan module. You can do it on a phone, you can do it on a computer. That turns off the auto start stop system, but it also turns off a specialized charging system that Ford has in here. Kind of rolls you back to the old school charging system. And why I'm going to recommend you don't do it is because it turns off that charging system, and as soon as that charging system's turned off, it turns off the auto stop start. It's not smart for warranty purposes. If something goes weird in the electrical system, Ford can see what's happening inside there. Warranty claims can be a little more difficult. I wouldn't do it. Second, some people just jumper the plug. There's two of the plugs there. They just jumper it so it grounds it out, and it assumes that when you start the truck, the button is pushed immediately. I wouldn't do it that way. If that jumper comes out or you jumper the wrong two wires or something happens, you can start a fire. Jeff on this channel has had a vehicle burn down, and it is not worth it. So don't mess with it that way. Let's do it in a smart way that if we need to go into warranty, we can remove them. We can remove them in seconds and go at it. Now, there are multiple other ways. If you know it, you can actually program it out. You can put in a programmer and plug it in. It'll reprogram the computer. No longer happens. Great. I don't recommend that either for warranty. I want something in, out, simple, something that works. Now, a lot of people want to turn that unit completely off. I recommend not turning it completely off, so I want to put something in that I can use it. It works if you roll up next to a friend, want to talk to them. I always hit that button, roll down the window. It keeps all my stuff active between the air conditioning or the heater or the stereo. It works. If you stop at a train and you're sitting there like, well, this might be a little bit, push the button, let the truck turn off. Things still work a little bit if it's in a comfortable situation. Now, if you're in 100-degree heat, you're not going to want to have that air conditioning turn off because it'll get like an oven in there. And when it is turned off, it doesn't work well. So the first item that we're going to talk about is the auto stop eliminator. This is basically a plug that goes in between the switch on the dash and it's plugged behind it. All this does is memorize the last position that you had that switch in. So if you had it off, when you turn off the truck and start it back up, this switch will know, hey, I was off. It'll turn it back off. Nothing for you to do. When you want to turn it on, you push the button again, leave it on. If you decide to leave it on for a while, you can just leave it on. If it's left turned off in the on situation, it'll just stay on. Sounds confusing, I get it, but it memorizes the last place of the switch. Sits in there permanently. If you had work to do to install it, you just lift a plate up on top. 2 7mm bolts, pull out the switch, plugs in. This is probably a 10-minute job. The second one that I want to go over is the start-stop eliminator. This is the memorizer. Now, they do have one that will actually go in, you plug this in and program the truck. I didn't want that. I wanted one that I could plug in. It memorizes the last position. It stays plugged in, and that's it. When I don't want it to work anymore, I can pull this out. It won't memorize the last position. It leaves no trace, nothing that anything's ever been done to the vehicle. It doesn't change programming, and there it is. Now, if you want or you have something else that plugs into your OBDII port, you can get an OBDII splitter and I think the company is working on one that'll actually plug in the back of the OBDII connector. So you could still have that OBDII connector open if that's your situation. For me, it's not. I don't care. I use these types of situations in many different cars. I have a Corvette Z06. Why in the world Chevy decided that it's going to knock off 4 cylinders whenever you're just cruising around? So I have the range AFR in there. Now the downside to the range AFR, which doesn't happen with this one, is the range AFR is constantly drawing power. So if you're not daily driving the vehicle, that Corvette battery will die. With this unit, the battery does not get affected for long-term sitting. So this draws no power after its first initial setup, and it's only drawing power while the vehicle is turned on. This is 2 seconds. Plug it in, watch for a blue light, push the button on the dash off. It will stay off up until you push the button on the dash again to allow it to come back on. So the 2 ways that I would recommend doing this are a bit more expensive, but they're safe. You're not going to worry about a truck burning down. You're not going to worry about warranty issues. You're not going to worry about having something that you might want to work that won't work at some point. So I'm going to put some links in the description. This stuff is cake, it's easy, and it stops this annoying on and off that you have here. So let me know your comments in the description. You can get these for multiple different kinds of vehicles. You can turn off just about anything, but my suggestion when looking for these is not to get frustrated. Look for the ones that aren't going to void your warranty. Make sure you do your research on some that seem super simple and make sure that they're not going to hurt your vehicle in any other way. As always, I appreciate your time. Subscribe to the channel, give us a like on this video. Have a great day.